Okay, calling our Park Board meeting to order. Roll call to my left.
Coleman here.
Damiano here.
Romero here. Martin here.
We have a quorum. Okay, reading off the agenda. We'll start with new business. Discuss and take action to consider approving the July 10th, 2023 Park Board meeting, July meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve the July 10th, 2023 Park Board meeting minutes for July.
Second.
Okay. All approved? Okay. Discuss and take action to suggest ideas for improvement to the dog park. Janet, that email that I forwarded you from Barbara, I don't have a copy of that.
Do you have the packet printed?
It was.
No, I don't. Okay.
No, we didn't.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we just did.
We did do a yay, but.
Oh, yeah, Shelley.
Hello, Coleman. Coleman.
Second, and then there was no, yay or nay.
Oh, I need a yay.
Okay.
I was waiting for that. I knew we didn't hear and it got approved.
You want me to do it again? Yeah, if you do that, I'll go print. Okay.
Okay, let's try this again. I'd like to make a motion to approve the July 10th, 2023 Park Board meeting, July meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay. And if I could get a vote from my left?
Coleman, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Romero, yes.
Martin, yes.
Okay. We're going to give the second one just a minute while she prints that off.
While she's waiting for that, can we just openly discuss minutes, or I'm sorry, discuss improvements to the dog park? Do we need
No.
improvements to the dog park?
We
Because,
can add that to it and have discussion on that if you have something to add.
no, I didn't have any, because I think the last time we talked about the dog park, there was some issues with bugs or something, and I think David, you... Oh, that's right. Right. It's that time of year, whatever. I do have a question. Is there water close by the dog park? Is there a water fountain? Oh, they are, and they're working and all that. I didn't see those there. I'm gonna have to check that. Oh. Right. Oh, I didn't go that far in the dog park. But they fill automatically and, okay, that was my
Okay.
question on that.
Are the improvements that we're considering specific to the email that we were just handed?
I'm sorry.
Are the improvements that we're supposed to be considering specific to the email that we were just handed?
No, those are
Dog
just
park, yes,
suggestions, I
just
think.
suggestions.
Right, but I'm trying to get us away from, we need to make improvements, to, we need to make improvements. Here are the line items that citizens have brought to us, or the priorities that we have, or the seasonality of what we need to do and when, so that we get maybe a little more structure around it, just to kind of,
I think, too, today we're supposed to bring those ideas, like our ideas of what we thought, or speaking to people around the area in Gun Barrel, or just from word of mouth. But I do know about the concerns that they had, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, David, but for the pools, I know people bring pools there and they want their dog to cool off or whatever, but is it really feasible to store them there? Like, I mean, and there's not like a place to store it there. Right. Well, I mean,
And we don't have no, we don't give them access to a water hose where they can fill it up. They was using ice, they got, what's the name of that company over in 903? You know, but anyway, this lady used to let them come and get X amount of bags of ice a day, but for some reason, that's not happening no more. I don't know why. So the pools are they being brought in, because they just bring them in, a couple bags of ice in.
right. Well, I'm just,
They don't even do that anymore.
right.
Okay, I think the items y'all just covered just now in regard to the dog park and the request for their, once for the burrows, the prickly burrows that she's saying, and also she's requesting that we discuss to create a program for the local business to donate signage to be placed on the fence around the dog park. That's something that we could certainly discuss. You've already discussed about the pools for the ice, for the dogs.
actually, can we back up a little bit and maybe go in order? So in our email, or the item that we have before us, the first thing we have is the sticker burrs and that kind of thing. So I know you mentioned about the seasonality. So to address this, we can't do anything now. I know, but there's a spring protocol and there's a fall protocol. So can we let citizens know, or can we coordinate with you or hear from you how you're coordinating on a fall plan? And we can maybe check this one off and move to the next one. Okay, so it'll be treated like. Yeah, right. And so the conclusion on that one is the park will be treated for the dog park sticker burrs October-ish, November-ish? Yeah, okay.
That's a good point.
So treatment. Anything else we need to know about on like the grass and that kind of thing? So we could let, if anybody else asks, I mean, I agree with him. I think they're done for because I watch out for those in my yard.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
could let people know it'll be treated later this fall when the weather's.
Absolutely, and that's also something that we could put on the park website
Yes,
to let people know that it is being treated,
yeah.
for sure.
And then on the signs, I'm assuming they mean advertising, or do they mean like
Advertising.
informational signs?
I think advertising,
Okay.
yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
Free advertising.
But you can't do it till we do something with the fields and actually, have them. But I think it's a real attractive.
Can we get city council and city management approval before we start doing that? Because that is,
Oh, totally, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. No,
Right, no, this is
No.
just like
yeah,
assuming, do we want to do it before
Right,
saying, okay,
right.
if we do,
And then we
what are
pursue the
next
project.
steps? Yeah,
yes, exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
we used to do that at the ball diamonds,
Right.
and we have a signed sponsorship that I don't know for a fact that it's in the ordinances, if you have to follow that or not, I don't know. We have to look and update, because it has to be governed. Because if, number one, somebody's got to monitor, because if they don't pay, the sign comes down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they don't pay their yearly dues, then the sign's got to come down. Then if they pay, then you got to put the sign back up. I mean, it's just not pure $100 putting a sign up there. You see what I'm saying? You have things that you have to stick to.
Well, they have to fill out forms and that kind of thing, and it's a, because I'm sure the city has that, right, Mickey? The forms and stuff that, oh, okay.
Oh, it might need to be updated too.
Right, because they used to have it on the ball. Yeah,
But then you got to the point where nobody was renewing,
and then,
come down.
right,
You got gaps in between them.
right, right.
Really need to uniform them and bring them back together, people drop off. I mean, so it has some hourly things that you have to do.
Okay,
Move signs around, take signs down.
What,
Yeah.
previously, what kind of materials were used to create the signs?
It's just a real thin aluminum that I believe by the time it was, and it might have been sugar rock, like, I'm not sure. Or R&R or Easy Signs. One of them sign companies, but they have to be so big.
What, yeah, because they're uniform and,
You don't want to
right,
make it real small,
right,
Or if you did that, then you could have like outfield fence, your $100 sponsor, the side fence, your $50 sponsor,
Yeah.
smaller size,
right.
dugout
well, they're being asked questions,
There's different ones.
so,
Right. One thing we ought to include on the form, on the new form, I know you mentioned a couple of agencies in town that can handle the creative on that, but if it's rudimentary, we can handle, if it's rudimentary design, not intricate, we could offer to, they can send us their design, and then we might farm it out to someone else, but we could technically handle that. If it's a basic design, we could handle it and charge a small fee for that. And if it's more complicated and it needs to go to an agency, the fee is a little higher. So there would be 3 tiers. Send us your design finished, we can help you design it. If it's a little more artistic, we'll farm it out.
Okay.
And that's again, just a little more income to us. Probably that'll help a little bit if that income was directed to the maintenance of those areas, whether it's baseball or dog park and/or moving those signs around.
okay. One of the things that we're going to do today is to attempt to figure out what projects that we would like to tackle. So, I mean, that's could be something that could be on our list, but we're going to prioritize,
Right.
yeah, so, but I like that. I think that's a great project. So, okay. Maybe I having to ask you a lot of questions today, but it was mentioned that about the play modules for the dogs, and they're obviously apparently being damaged.
I mean, there's not much they can damage.
Okay,
Only thing they can really damage is just the bar for the jump, you know,
okay,
the rover jump or whatever they call it. And it bends, I mean, it's not a steel rod or nothing. And I take it off and straighten it up. I mean,
Yeah, because I looked out there and I didn't see anything. I mean,
okay.
Quick question.
sure. Well, just like,
Sure,
sure.
yeah.
Always.
Yes. I would agree with that. Do there? I think that the human is,
Okay, I think that the dog park will definitely be maybe one of our priorities, if you all agree. But we're going to go on to the next
yeah,
item and figure out what all everyone has to add to this. 1C, discuss and take action to choose priorities in the park to focus on. I had given y'all a list of the different places at the park, and I thought we could just go through these, and if any of you have an idea or a suggestion or something that you're aware of, that we could visit that and see what, if it should be on our priority list or not.
I think that we maybe should consider possible revenue-generating improvements. Health, safety, obviously first, health, safety, and ADA requirements and codes and any of that stuff that's
Right.
gone. But once we do that, maybe we try to find some revenue-generating something, at least one project.
Right.
And in addition, which David may be best to speak to, is, and we have kind of a long list, so I'm not expecting you to be able to name all these, but like the top 3 areas of the park that are most used are the ones that are going to get the most wear or be the most popular with citizens as far as use and therefore upkeep. So it'd be helpful to kind of know that because that'll help us prioritize as well.
Okay. Do y'all want to just review this list and let me know, or let's discuss which ones we want to talk about? We don't have to discuss each one of them. Not everything needs our attention.
Yeah.
Right.
So are you aware of any of these on the list?
well, yes. Pickleball is like the new up-and-coming.
Yes.
It's just women are out there every day. And I would like to see some improvement there, whether it's like wind shears or resurfacing it, because I know they're out there
Yeah.
blowing the water off the cracks and stuff, because it's used, for tennis and pickleball, but there is a league that goes out there every day. And I would say as far as walking, but pickleball, they're out there every day. And disc golf, I'm not really sure if there is any improvements on disc golf. They just installed that in, 3 years ago? I think the EDC helped out with that. I mean, they're out there all the time as well. But those are the two areas right now that people go there every day for. Well, three areas, I guess, walking, pickleball, and disc golf. And then you got the dog park.
I actually,
Yeah.
The windshield for the tennis courts, this is before my time, I think probably remembers, there was one there at the
Oh,
pond,
there were, yep.
and the wind comes through really bad right there.
Yeah.
And that's why I take it down, because it took down the fence. And my shop's been blown in through the wind as well, so that may not be such a great idea unless it's a big, tall, permanent structure.
Well, I've seen them, and they're, I don't know, they're kind of made differently than what the ones that were there. Like, this lets airflow, like, you know, like those canopy type of things, but they're,
There are holes there, got a flat.
yes.
Happened in the horse station.
Mhm.
They got them, then they got like the ones we had. I mean, there's awful ones that went in, I mean,
Sure. That's,
As far as like the walking trail and the disc golf, especially the disc golf, I have asked in budgets and also in the 5-year capital plan, capital improvement plan for funding for park benches and canopies so they can stop and rest every now and then. So yes, that is an item that the city can't budget for right now, but it's definitely talked about this year and in the years past as well. So I would definitely be on board on that one.
I actually spoke to a couple of young men that play disc golf frequently, and they loved the disc golf course, and that's exactly what they said, that we could have more benches out there and shade. That would be helpful.
We're finding a shade structure right now for the playgrounds because it's cloth and that's edge strip, so it would need to be like a metal structure, so it would withstand the wind.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're having right now.
Maybe we could coordinate placement of benches and possibly shade too. I'd have to go back out there and think about this now, but where you have the walking trail and the disc golf at points where they kind of come together, maybe a bench in between so they can be
Yes.
used by both.
Totally.
Might be more efficient when we plan this, if and when. Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing that's really popular around here too, I know there's so many people that will donate benches. It's just that they need to be able to, because I know years ago, I tried to donate a bench and you couldn't, they wouldn't let you. So I think, you know, if we could make it more accessible for people around here to donate a bench, and, because people love doing that. That's something that we could tap into too, because there's a lot of people that, they're givers around here. You just have to, you know, ask them. And you don't have to make it so difficult for them to donate a bench.
Right.
So that's,
Does the webpage have a portal where someone could click to donate?
right now, no.
So
You
that's a
know?
good idea. Yeah. Okay.
So that, yeah. So benches, and so you wouldn't want to do canopies because you think that, you know, like sails,
The wind has blown a couple of our canopies and tore them up. So I'm honestly want to go with like a hard plastic structure or hard metal, something to that effect.
Do you know the cost difference between the two? Do you know the cost difference between the two?
Yeah, we'd have to research that.
Something like you see at the roadside picnic areas, something like, not that huge,
whoa.
Where they have the structure and the little metal roof that's kind of tilted? Not like this, but.
Right, it's just
tilted like
one
that.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's,
that seems like it would be a simple fix, except for that it's metal.
yeah, it's metal and it gets extremely hot.
Yeah,
That's true.
Extremely hot.
That's true.
So if a kid were to go up and touch like the railing holding this structure up, it would be extremely hot.
Yeah.
it's super hot.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I have wind sails at home, and I'm on the lake, and I mean, they work really well. Like,
Same here.
they work well. Now, sure, you have to replace them, I don't know, every 4 years, but
They're $100, 150.
I was going to say they're, and then at the end of the year, well, I mean, wouldn't necessarily have to take them down, but I'm just thinking cost effective. I
Yeah,
mean, that,
Absolutely.
so I don't know. I think we should, right, no. I think it's a great idea because, like you said, people are playing disc golf, walking, they want to sit somewhere. Sit somewhere.
But you gotta think, your home is a little bit more security protected, and we do have vandals that frequent the park.
Yeah.
They would do that to the metal too, though. They're going to paint all over it. They're going to, they will. They're
across
bad,
from
no
the-
matter what we do.
It's across from the police department.
Yeah.
Well, I think these are good ideas, though, for sure.
I do too. I think that so far we've talked about the pickleball court and the disc golf and the need for benches and shade.
Right.
What other items do you see on the list that we could definitely help make some improvements?
Well, like the horseshoe pits, I don't ever see anybody out there throwing horseshoes.
Is there a need for another one?
There is to have a tournament.
Tournament, yes.
Yes.
We had a league for 4 or 5 years. Person that was running the league, didn't want to do it no more. Nobody's picked it up.
Okay.
They're definitely unused,
But I understand that they're unused, but there's no sand anywhere. It's all grown into grass. So if they wanted to use them, how would they? I guess is. Most of them, the little pegs are, I'm sorry?
There's sand in them?
there's grass in it also. But
Yeah.
if you go down there with a shovel, you'll find, you'll get to the sand.
I understand that, but,
They got grass that was just like baseball diamonds for unused.
well, but
Used, they would not have.
if we fix it, maybe they'll be used is kind of where I'm coming from. There's a lot of stuff that's in just general need of maintenance, maybe because funds weren't available, maybe because whatever it is, but I think that those are some small improvements that can be made. I've had no less than 7 soccer teams this year approach me wanting to practice here. But the coaches are like, are y'all gonna do anything? I'm like, I don't know, it's too early to tell. That's 7 different teams that go over to Maybank and go over to Enchanted Oaks and all of that live right here.
Okay, since we're discussing priorities.
Well, we never
I
got
think-
to them really.
Well, no. This is part of that. You've kind of revealed that we've never seen, or we see very low use. I've seen one guy out there using it in the several times that I've been out there, including the wintertime, when it's a lot cooler. So, yes, it needs improvement, but maybe not right now. And what you just
Agreed.
said with
Yeah.
the soccer teams, if there's people interested, we need to figure out how to get that one prioritized, because that's another one.
I've had softball teams.
But that's
I've
another
had
one where we could
basketball
get some
teams.
revenue.
Right.
So that has a revenue tied to it.
Yep.
So that moves horseshoes down
It
and
does.
soccer
Exactly.
areas up.
I have cameras at my shop, and one of my crew leader, Paul, he has kids soccer. There's people that utilize not only the soccer field, but the 3 fields in front of that and next to the pavilion.
And closer to the church over there?
But you're right, we don't have
Tournament level. Yeah.
These guys told me that I haven't played on that field personally, but everybody told me that they will not play on those fields because they're dangerous and they're pitted and they're unlevel. They just need some general maintenance. They haven't had any, really thing done to them for whatever the reasons are. Again, I think that if we improve what we have, figure out a solution with the lights. I know that's a whole nother thing, won't even go there. But I'm thinking we've got to know they're not being used because they're not adequate. They're not, but I,
Lights are in the budget, but this is the first time I've heard that the soccer field's unusable. Because my crew leader,
She's being approached by tournament.
I'm not saying that.
they-
It's being said to me. So, but, oh, okay. I can't help that. I'm just,
In order for them to be usable, there's a lot of money that has to be spent. Keep them up, just like your front yard. If you don't water it, you're gonna have dead grass.
okay. So we just let it rot.
No, he's bringing up a point.
You don't have the money to water it, you don't have the money to keep it, because it's back into the dog park, you have to bring it post-emergent, you have to put fertilizer on it for what they want to play on.
Right.
There's all kinds of room for them to practice.
But what we can do in
But
the
they
meantime.
have to be able to do
what
it
we can-
safely.
What we can do in the meantime is research what money it could possibly bring in to cover those costs. It might not, we might get 7 people here and it's still, 7 teams, or the other group you
more.
mentioned. But it may not ever cover the costs of the maintenance and the upkeep and things like that. But that's something we need to research, because it could pay for itself. It could bring in extra revenue. It might not.
Because I have seen people, yeah,
No, we're talking about tournament play.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, but there are a lot of fields. Enchanted Oaks, they charge. There are a lot of the fields, Maybank, they charge. If you want to practice on their fields, and if you mess up their field, you pay for it. So you can absolutely charge to practice if they're, kept up. If it's a good place to practice and it doesn't have to have turf grass, and we're not talking about a golfing green, just level it out, and if we can't put the metal goals are there. They're were at one point thrown off in the woods. They would not be that hard to move them back in place. They don't have to be perfect. Throw some lead-free paint. That's another question I was trying to ask earlier, is if you guys keep all of your MSDSs on file for everybody to look at. Perfect. That was just asked, and I didn't know the process.
I'm going to defend those soccer goals in the field or in the tall grass. Yes, they were over there because we upgraded the ones we had, and those were unusable. So that's why they were out of the way. And since then, I've moved them because I don't want people saying that we just jumped them out because we upgraded.
Right.
The-
Well, here's the deal, guys, for both of you. I am not blaming. There is no blame here. None whatsoever. I don't know that you had the tools to do your job right. I don't know if there was money or if it was a priority, or I have no idea. What I want to do is bring things that are possibilities, and you guys are imperative. I need to know what you see and what you've tried and what hasn't worked, and solutions to them, like, the burrs and the stuff like that. That's stuff you guys can handle like that and do, I'm sure. But that's what we're here for. So we want to improve the park. We want to make money too, because if the park is making money, everybody's making money. So that's what we're going at, and I want to be very clear. There's no blame here. You guys have done nothing wrong. I'm frank, and I ask the question, I pose it, and that's just me. Please don't be offended. I've been a project manager for 30 years. It's a habit. So
And if I'm passionate about it,
you are, and I get it. That's fine.
but, again, communication is the key. What I don't know, I don't know. What you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly.
Talk about it. So,
I just wanted to clear that up. I felt like you might be being attacked, and I wanted to make sure that you did not. at all.
What was the other group you mentioned besides soccer that had a coach?
Softball.
Softball, okay.
Yeah, I have 2 people ready to run softball tournaments next year if we can get the fields up to date. Too late this year. But for next year, if we can get them, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect, we're not looking for that. There's no rec field around here that is.
So,
We need help along with that. We definitely need help. I only have 2 full-time employees,
Okay?
so whoever wants to use the fields as far as tournaments or play, we need help striping.
Okay.
They need to maintain that striping, they need to maintain,
Well, they should stripe it themselves.
We need infield maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I can't do it, because infield maintenance requires you on the diamonds probably 3 times a week at least. And like Ernie says, with our help,
You're right.
I'm busy during the growing season.
Yeah,
And we've tried to get leaves out here, and I've worked with several that really would like to come, but that would be something.
And so what was their,
Mickey can testify to it, Janet can testify to it. We have fee schedules that we have to go by. We can't just tell them to come and rent. There's things that they have to have, and there's a cost.
right?
And we would like to see it redone if at all possible, along with Mickey's and Janet's blessing on that. That would be something that would be good for y'all to come up with, because we have them in the ordinance. How much it costs a week, how much it costs to do tournaments, how much it costs, and we try to offset that, but we cannot find interested people to help us maintain the fields
yeah.
and do something about their costs,
Good to know.
because they're
Good to know.
and you also get into, maybe can testify, insurance.
Absolutely, yeah. But in tournaments, they pay for their own. And if they're practicing, unless you charge them, you're not required to maintain liability on it.
But all that costs,
They pay for their own insurance. Yeah.
yeah. But all that cost information would be valuable to have you
That's
share.
what I was gonna
If
ask.
we, if this rises up to one of our top priorities, because I think one of the key things would be input from you two assessing what it would take to bring them up to par, not stellar level, but
Right, right.
par for softball, so we could get going in the spring. It may take us a full season because, we can
Well,
lay
the
down
grass
grass.
has gotta
but-
grow and
yeah,
the- the
But that kind of
stuff.
input would be helpful if we prioritize the softball. We'll see.
What I'm sorry.
When I was running the leagues 5, 6 years, 7 years ago, we played 3 nights a week and played on the weekend. But them fields require water.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
If you don't water, you stop talking about safety. Now let's talk about safety.
That's a big one.
They ain't watered and then pressed any conditions, fertilized, ant killer, pesticide, herbicide.
Now, has the first wave been completed yet? The original 20,000, I think, that was approved for the water park?
Well, that's just for drinking fountains.
Oh, is that all? Wow.
Yeah.
So I know there's a pretty big drainage issue back there by the fields, where the fields are, where it's trenched out a little area, pretty good-sized little area. Back on the very, very back at where the bleachers are, kind of on the fields. I'm probably not explaining it right, but anyway, it's it'll need some work, yeah. No big deal, no big deal. Could be gone.
7 or 8 years ago, I put them diamonds up against any of within 100 miles. But that's how good they was. And I got pictures and proof and everything else.
I trust you.
If you don't take care of them, they come to look like they do now.
I share your attitude.
so did you have more people back then, or how were you able to maintain them back when this was, 7, 10, whatever you're talking about?
All the time, and we had more help out of the street, out of the street department, they would do some of the mowing, but the park took the lead, it started looking bad. Like I say, if you don't have labor to keep up 60
No, I'm just trying to figure out,
I understand.
Things look bad, so it's not complaint driven, but
well,
eyesight driven, what looks bad, you fix it, clean it up, put it on.
so you're saying you had more help from the street department because the park was making more money? Is that what do you? You chose what you wanted, I'm just trying to figure out.
I had enough time to work on the park.
Okay,
At one point, we didn't have all that extra stuff.
okay,
We didn't have the park grant
okay,
and have all the extras of the tennis courts. or
okay.
tennis.
So, okay, that's,
You know what I'm saying?
and,
But then it came, about halfway through, but the park would look bad because they don't,
no, so you didn't have,
use keeps the grass out of the area.
right. So you didn't have, like you said, all the other stuff, the tennis courts, the, okay, well, that's helpful.
Okay, I'd like to move along to another, I feel like right now, we've got the pickleball courts, the disc golf, the softball fields, and I very much would like to see the three of those, if y'all agree, as part of our top 5 priority, unless you can come up with a,
I don't know that we can get to 3 or 5 until we kind of touch on a few of the others.
And
Yeah.
how much money we
Not that,
well,
yeah,
my goal is to pick these items and then hopefully have a workshop and discuss what needs to be done, how much it's going to cost, and then go from there.
Well, I think, like I said, I haven't seen all these in a while. But the bathrooms, have you guys done
Bathrooms,
any
yes.
work in the women's bathroom in the park? I'm sorry, the last time it's been a minute, a few months, but one of the stalls was just a piece of wood and it had a gap about that far into one of the restrooms, and that's right in front of the door. So that was one of the things that was brought up quite a while ago. I don't know where it went, no clue, but
I don't know the gap that you're talking about, but we did add, the during game, we added,
well, there was a huge puddle in the corner of the room, probably about 2.5 feet out in the restroom. There was a puddling over there, and then that was when none of the water turned on at all. None of it. Not the sinks, you could flush, and that was it. All the water fountains were off, and then the sinks, that's what I thought was weird, is the sinks were off. No, sir, they were, I promise you. But I don't want to get into that.
There's a few times of the year that we have shut the water off.
It could have, yep,
Do a couple water breaks.
could have been it.
wintertime,
Absolutely.
yeah.
If it's below 32, we have to shut them off.
I understand.
And maybe, I'm just speculating, maybe one of the times, this past year,
Absolutely.
that same line feeds the animal control. And her line busted a couple of times this year. So maybe, but normally the waters do operate there in the restroom.
Okay.
When we know that they're not working, we fix it right away because we're charged water. So we want to get those fixed as soon as possible, try to keep your house.
Okay.
if it was a sink that did not have water over it, people don't understand, and there's several, the meter system on them faucets. Them faucets are metered. Once you push it down to get water, it will only run for a certain bit of time.
Right.
I understand.
And then they hit it again, wanting it to stop. Now it continually runs, so they think it's broke. So then they turn the water off underneath it.
I see what you're saying.
Very well could have been.
Metered, and people don't understand the meter.
I get you. I'm not coming to any conclusion why. Just trying to throw some little things that I think maybe would help you guys. Something easy.
I'm unaware of the gap.
And if water's an issue or anything's wrong with restrooms, my shop's right
You got it.
Call the police department after hours.
No.
Call me.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, if it's after hours at night, police department knows myself.
May I make a suggestion? To kind of expedite this?
Yeah.
And I apologize, but I'm going to kind of flip my suggestion is that we kind of flip this. I'd like to just quickly run through everything here and just say, is it used, it's used a lot, is it in good repair right now? It needs attention, okay. Is it a costly item? Probably, okay, next one. So I think that would get us through this quickly, and then from that, we can probably get a little closer to that goal.
That was my intent.
Okay, well, let's start with the walking trails, because they seem like they're in regular use, and
Yes.
they're in average state of repair.
The only thing I have to add about the walking trails, I noticed over there, in that area where our butterfly garden is, that it frequently floods that in that area. And the walking trail is either very, very muddy, or, it just, or there's that much water, in that area. Is there anything that we can do to?
Yes, we've discussed that
Okay,
a couple times, and it's unfortunately kind of
It's
on the back burner, for the past couple of years,
yeah,
as far as trying to do something.
right.
Because I can get that up more on the priority.
Yeah. Are there any other areas of the walking trail that's like that? No, I haven't seen any. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, okay,
Thank y'all.
yeah. Okay. Okay, very good.
The pavilion's good.
Pavilion?
There, isn't it?
I think we're good on the pavilion. I mean, I'm
It
not
gets
aware of
used and
anything
it's
that's,
in good repair.
any improvements, okay? We've discussed pickleball. What about the basketball court?
Needs to be painted and leveled.
Needs painted?
Does it need painted? The basketball court? I haven't, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, people play basketball even if there are no, yeah.
Right.
So that one's
Right.
probably an okay for now.
Yeah.
okay. Disc golf, I think we've already discussed that, as well as horseshoe pits.
So where's the volleyball net?
Yeah.
Did I miss that one?
Seen it.
Uh-huh,
Oh. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Is it grass? Is it sand? Well,
How often, I always see people in the pavilion, I always see people playing the playground there and playing basketball. How often do you see, compared to those three, people playing volleyball? And I know it could be hey, it may not be in great. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
basketball's
Yeah, we
like,
need to, that'd be later.
I think later.
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely, okay. Playground is our next item. Canopy?
Maybe that's on the lower.
Yeah. Okay,
But outside of the canopy, would you say it's passable? I mean, it's okay for now? Outside of the canopy, is it otherwise fairly usable right now? Okay. That might be later then.
later, yeah. Amphitheater is another item. The only thing I know about I feel about the amphitheater is there needs to be bathrooms closer.
But that's, so I have a quick question. So the July Fest, did that make money? Did the city make money on that?
But the cost was,
So when you say bring in money, you're talking about people staying, eating, and that kind of? Oh, ticket sales. So we made money then?
no. She's saying no.
It broke even, though, the event?
It did not.
Oh, it did not?
Did not.
So how did the city make money? How did the city make money?
We sell tickets, and we sell tickets, and there were beer sales, and all of those funds go back into the festival fund to pay for next year's entertainment.
But if this year's entertainment was negative, shouldn't those funds go to that?
It wasn't negative.
I thought you said it,
We had money in that fund. It wasn't negative.
okay, so we're just carrying the loss forward.
Which
Year to year.
fund? Oh, okay.
We really need to keep to the agenda.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I think we can,
After reading, we have not spent 250,000 on that either.
I
Oh,
haven't
no,
read
I'm just
anything.
saying,
Oh,
like,
no.
for
Waiting
the
to hear
amphitheater, if it's generating money, then maybe that's something that if it needs to be painted or whatever, that we would,
We would consider it as a use.
okay. Okay.
okay.
And it could be, if there's a comparable event that we would want to propose to do there, we would maybe fashion the budget or go after the event in a different format so it does break even or does, contribute more money.
Well, at this point, she's doing it by herself, so maybe.
Well, I think we're
she
just
had-
looking if
Yeah.
we need any improvements, and it sounds
Right,
like we
right.
don't, so,
Other than that, the event has nothing to do with
yeah.
the park board.
Yeah.
Somebody had a note about movies at the park. Are they
Yes.
done at the amphitheater or are they done elsewhere?
Mickey, do you?
Movies at the park?
I know they've done it at the fire department, right.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
July Fest, just like the parade that we do, just like the Easter egg hunt that we do, just like the haunted trail we've done. That's not to generate money for the city.
No.
That's to give back to the
It
community
is.
for funds that we've already budgeted for, or funds that are coming in. So when people focus on, oh, how much did the July Fest make? You're focusing on the wrong thing. We're focusing on giving back to the community with the funds that we've already budgeted for.
And I think speaking for myself, that's not the reason I ask it. Understanding the budget and understanding things like you just said, and yes, this is a loss leader, it's okay to operate at a loss, or it's not for certain other things where, if we're going to pour X thousand dollars into improving a softball park, but it's negative, or we do something else that's negative, pretty soon we won't be sitting here and,
Right.
you
Because
know.
that was my whole thing.
So
Well,
that we just kind of need to feel our way around this. Right, you're talking about the goodwill. I mean, you can't really calculate that. However, we're just kind of doing I think, a foundational line of saying, does this cost, how much does it cost, does it not, that kind of thing, for every little item, so that we kind of have a level playing field, and then we can look at them more specifically.
right,
Of course.
right,
Yep.
correct. I just meant, do we need to fix anything there? If this is something, maybe this is something we could do for a fundraiser down the road.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
The Parks Board, do we have anything to do with what was she, July Fest?
any,
No,
We don't,
don't.
yeah.
so let's keep moving on. We got a few more minutes. Let's,
The next item is the gardens there at the park.
Oh, I know.
Is that something that we should focus on, or the other?
I would say no.
We got one
I agree.
covered.
We got one covered, and
We
the
got one
other, I
covered.
think the pickleball ladies do, and
Okay, so I think that's kind of a low thing
gardens.
as well.
We don't need to do anything with the gardens.
I think the ponds, I mean, y'all have got that covered. I don't see anything that we could do with the ponds. Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet,
well-
I bet,
Everybody's
I bet, yeah.
The what?
We'd have to water the park, we'd have to water the grass first, wouldn't you think? If we
So
If we had-
what flower bed is that?
had water to put somewhere, wouldn't we put it on the ground?
Yes.
I thought the
Yeah.
women were doing that pickle, I thought,
Yeah,
okay.
And then the butterfly gardens on the backside, she tries to help them work on that one, but I've always wanted to find a landscaping company that would be willing to take care of and put a sign out there for advertising, flower bed maintained by.
That's a good idea. we could look into that.
Okay,
That's, it's sad.
yeah, okay. Our next item is the water fountains, and I feel like we've kind of discussed that, the water fountains
They're
there.
working. They're
And
good.
My understanding is, yeah, you're working on them, okay. Bathrooms, we've already discussed some issues with that we probably should look into. The skate park. Lights? Okay,
So skate park, the soccer field, and the dog park, we asked for money in the budget, for next year's budget for
yeah,
lights on those.
yeah,
Budget's not approved yet, right?
yeah.
So,
I-
hopefully,
Mhm.
all that will be approved.
Right.
So there will be funds for lighting for those guys.
Right. I remember from several years ago when I was on the park board, that one of the projects that we discussed, we didn't get to it, but we discussed was shading around that skate park. There was none back then. Has that improved in any way? Because
There's a park bench,
yeah,
picnic table with a shade structure.
yeah,
That's one of the ones that does rip and tear.
Does it?
yeah,
We've replaced a couple of times.
I'm gonna check
okay,
that out.
okay.
There is one. Is it currently on? No. No. So that has.
Yeah,
Is that there was one that was like cracked in half at one point.
oh, wow, on the concrete?
No, the bench.
Oh, the bench, oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, it was, yeah.
How'd they crack?
okay.
I have no idea how they did that. I looked at that, I'm like, is that crack? Wow.
So I think
All
we've
right.
got 4.
What's that?
I think we've got 4.
Yes. No, I agree. We've already discussed the dog park and the softball fields that you brought up, so. Okay. So I'm thinking that we could plan like a workshop and discuss the ones that we've come to decide that's going to be on our top 5,
Okay,
okay?
sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to go on to the agenda. 1D, discuss regarding funding opportunities for the park by donations or fundraising. I would like to see us bring some more awareness to the businesses, the local businesses here in Gun Barrel, to let them know that, you know, we would certainly appreciate any help that they could give us financially to help cover some of the projects that we would like to do. I will be speaking at the chamber breakfast on Thursday. They've asked me to speak, and that's one of the things I would like to bring up is our need for, you know, encouraging some of the businesses to help us, you know, even just a little bit.
Maybe we could suggest, since we have our 4 priorities, hey, we would appreciate your support, and here are 4 ways you can help fund the park if you are interested in the pickleball or disc golf, or if you care about dogs, you know, that kind of thing. That might help.
Yeah.
And to
yeah,
see who's interested in what areas.
Can we
absolutely.
do that, Mickey? Can we put that, or have that put on the website for Park Board? Yeah, or, you know,
Put
donations.
a link
or-
like you were suggesting.
Greatly appreciated.
And we could we'd have to like maybe craft this out, but we could have a page of sponsorship levels, which would be a platinum sponsor, a gold sponsor, a sponsor specific to softball, because that's your passion, you know, and so, or something like that. And we can
Yeah.
have different benefits, because
Yeah.
the people they're gonna get engaged on benefits. So that's the key. We'd have to figure out
Right.
what will be.
Make that with their sign sponsorships as well. Each line is a different level, and get certain type of
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And/or maybe, if they're at a platinum level, a listing on the website, like
Yes.
co-sponsored.
Yes,
Because that'll probably, in this day and age, get them a little more exposure that they
Absolutely.
care about.
yeah.
So,
the link to the park on the website, how long ago was it updated, do you know, or? Years, okay. I would like for us to take that on, to take, each of us to, take a look at that page and see where we can make some improvements and additions and add that link to it for the donations and such.
That website is probably going to change drastically.
Yeah? Okay,
Once we figure out, once our budget is approved, we have it for a new website.
awesome. Okay, okay. Would we, can we have some input on that as far as the park page, and if anything that we, would see fit to add to it?
Yeah, I maintain it
And Mickey?
time when we run the league.
Yeah, okay.
Mickey?
Try to update it, but I haven't been.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
This may be a little out of turn, but just FYI, as you get close to getting quotes for that, I know a lot of really good, efficient website builders. Depending on the budget, they can really work with you.
We actually have one from Civic Plus.
Oh, okay.
That's who we, CPID Fix is through.
Right. They go through a TML conference every October, and they've got this website, the TML conference, and they do a lot of municipalities.
Yeah.
Other municipalities page, that
mm-hmm,
kind of mimic,
yeah.
create our own twist to it.
Okay.
What time is it?
Or 30?
Oh, okay.
No.
What? Yeah, it's at,
Yeah. Let me know, because that's one of the things I do is help businesses kind of make sure that they get a good fit on that, especially for their budget, and to make sure that it's somebody that has a reputation for getting it done on time, because those projects get strung out. So,
Okay. We'll go on to 1E, discuss,
Are you going to do the movies in the park? I spoke with y'all about, at the first meeting, that we had the movies in the park, and we were just going to give it to y'all to use as a fundraiser.
I'm willing to do it.
Sure.
yeah.
You can use
Yeah.
it as a fundraiser to sell popcorn, sell
Okay.
drinks or whatever. and
Yeah.
bring people into the park.
Okay,
Another thing that's been on social media, and you've not done it, I've given it to you, so if
okay.
you want to do it, I would love for y'all to. If not, we'll take it back over. But it's the Goonies.
Super.
Yeah.
So do you,
Do you, do you have a date? Okay, okay.
would
Okay.
you,
Back to school or something when it pulls off.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Would you share with us, when you have time, any past information you have of movies that were popular, themes, pricing, all that kind of stuff? That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd
be
I would like to do that.
Yeah.
Y'all are,
right,
okay,
because
okay.
We also have the screen
Yes,
and the projector.
okay,
Wherever y'all want to have it at the park, that's something y'all can discuss.
okay, absolutely.
It's a good way to.
thank you, yeah.
It is, it
Especially if
is.
we get like a bourbon taster out there. Trying to make more money for these guys.
All right. 1E, discussion regarding procedures for spending park board expenses, line item in park budget general fund and park special fund, interim city managers.
We put into the budget $10,000 in the general fund for the park board, and then you have a little over $5,000 in the park special fund. Once y'all decide what your priorities are and how you want to spend that, that is completely up to y'all. So
And then-
there's a little over $15,000.
There was, is that including the 1,800 that was previously there?
Yes,
That includes that? Okay, okay. So we have about 15,000 to work with currently.
and then however, well, as of October,
Oh, okay,
it has to be approved in the budget.
okay, okay.
And the way you'll spend that is y'all decide what you want to do, and you'll go through Ernie and David.
Okay.
So I have a question, special fund, what is that? What's the difference between,
So the special fund is where donations
Oh, I see. So the 5,000, somebody donated that.
The walkathon was some of that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
They donated to that, there was already some funds in there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
The sign thing, those funds would go into the park special fund.
Okay.
Thank you, yeah.
Any type of fundraisers you do, it'll go into that park special fund.
Oh, perfect. I didn't,
So would it be fair to look at these as the park budget? Hang on, let me see if I'm reading the right thing here. The park board expenses, that's what's designated specifically from the city for the year. And then everything else goes in the special fund as whatever we accrue.
Yes.
Okay. I like that distinction. That's helpful.
right, but,
Okay,
perfect.
all right. Is there anything else on that last item?
Not for me.
No.
Okay.
Our budget is on the August 22nd agenda.
Okay,
Hopefully it's going to pass.
okay,
When it passes, it'll be effective October 1st.
okay.
I'm sorry, what was that date again?
8/22.
22?
Okay. All right. Any other items to be discussed, or?
Yeah. Do you recall, now this isn't on our agenda, so it will be something I guess we have to discuss later, but what was the deadline for the Rotary submission?
That's out of.
That's off the table.
That's off the table.
Yeah, they decided they're going to use the 30,000 for the dog park, excuse me, for the dog, yeah,
Okay.
for the dog, the closures. They have about 9 or 10 kennels. 11? Okay, yeah, so they're using that money for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Pooh.
so. Okay, well, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay,
Second.
meeting adjourned.
No, you got to take a vote.
Oh,
Just-
I take a vote. Vote to my left. To adjourn?
Do I? Coleman, yes? I don't know. Just keep going.
Damiano, yes.
Kelly, yes.
Martin, yes.
We're learning.
Well, thanks for all your input,
I tell you
everybody.
what, we couldn't have done this meeting without y'all. It was
Very
so.
informative, yeah,
So
'cause-
helpful.
A lot of stuff I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
We are, for sure.
And I believe it'd be all right if anybody wanted to come up to look at something.
Well, I'm definitely,
I do.
I believe it's okay for us to entertain you, to show you the area that you're concerned about.
I would love to do that.
I have no problem with that.
Can we do that this week? Okay. You want to go ahead and let's set a day and time?
You don't think they would
Okay.
let you off to show her around?
I'd go tomorrow. There's going to be a cool front.
I was going to say
What,
earlier.
99?
Yeah, a cool front, yeah.
I'll be down here first thing in the morning, so.
Early, okay? Can you attend? Not tomorrow.
Yeah,
Can we do it Wednesday?
I can't.
No?
But
What,
I've got school starting.
okay, oh.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday or Friday would work for me, but
Well, I mean, I can do it Thursday, but I'm speaking for the chamber for breakfast.
What
So I
time
can
is
do it
that?
after that.
what time is that?
8:30?
I'm going to try to go.
I'm with Shelley, can we do it?
I don't know,
So
man.
we can, like 10?
I think 10's good.
10 o'clock? 10 o'clock on Thursday? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know you were speaking Thursday. I'll try to come
Yeah.
because,
Yeah, Marty Mullins contacted me a few days ago and asked me to,
well, that's awesome.
Kelly?
Yeah. And I do think that asking people for donations and stuff and you getting it out there, even if we could get it in the paper.
That's,
Thursday?
I thought at the park.
Oh, yeah.
David, where would you like us to meet you? Okay.
No.
That little bitty shack inside Ernie's office.
By the pavilion?
Next to the dog park.
Right next to
Oh, whoa, 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 I remember that.
To the dog park.
the maintenance shop. Over by the gas pumps.
Oh.